Yeah, hi there. These comments are for, I'm just going to give your initials WA. So in your situation, you are 27 years old, you are a dentist, you're also a master's student at a university, so you need to get a high TOEFL score. However, according to your email, you've taken the TOEFL exam 6 times. Your highest score is 86. And even though you spent a lot of time studying and preparing, it has never worked out with you. You need to get at least 95, and there are some subtotal requirements. The minimum score in writing is 25. Your minimum score in speaking is 24. And the minimum in the listening is 21, and the minimum is 18 in reading is 18 points. So you say, my application at Harvard School of Dental Medicine was rejected only because my TOEFL score was below 95. I really want to apply again, but first I need to get the required score. Wow! You want to go to Harvard? My goodness! You say, I got 7 on the IELTS exam, which is 100 on the TOEFL, but the thing is that Harvard only accepts TOEFL scores, so I need your help or advice to get the required scores. I will do whatever it takes. Are you sure about this? You can do it, but it's going to be painful. It's going to take a lot of practice on your part, but if you're serious, I can help you with this. Now, let me look at the... Okay, so the first thing you want to do is get out a sheet of paper here where you can take down some notes. All right? Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to explain to you how you can use my online course. And it's not just about taking a lot of practice tests. My course will actually help you to build your academic English language abilities. Let's face it, you need to make some improvements here. Okay, number 1, here's my first suggestion right now. I don't know how long it will take you to do this, but the first thing you want to do after joining my online TOEFL course is I want you to go through the vocabulary, pronunciation, and the grammar parts of my course. Do that first, even if it takes a couple of months. Go through those first 3 sections. Now, some lessons will be easier for you. You may know it. If so, skip the lesson. Don't worry about it. Go to the next lesson. But I think you need to improve your vocabulary, you need to improve your pronunciation, and you certainly need to improve your grammar. For example, here, there's sometimes when you're writing, you might not be using infinitives correctly or gerunds correctly, so I can tell from your writing that you are a non-native speaker, right? Okay, so that's the first thing you want to do is complete those first 3 sections. Now, as you're doing the pronunciation practice, I want you to send me by email your pretest, your pronunciation pretest. When you complete it, send me a quick email and I will listen to it and I will tell you what your pronunciation problems are and which lessons you need to study in the pronunciation section of my course to get better, right? So, once you've done those first 3 sections, then I want you to move into the listening and the reading parts of my course. Now, this is going to give you 40 practice tests, 40 listening comprehension practice tests. It will give you 70 reading comprehension practice tests, and especially for the reading, you need to work on your reading speed. I want you to get your reading speed to a minimum, write this down now, of 300 words per minute with 60 to 80% comprehension. Going through my reading part of my course will help you to do that because I have many speed reading videos to help you improve that. So you're working on your speed reading, and then you're also working on your listening. So as you go through the listening and the reading practice test, take notes, like I'm telling you to do now. So you have a pen, you have some paper, and you're writing down the main and the most important supporting points of the reading and the listening passages. Right? So as you do that, you need to use your notes for 3 purposes. Now this is important. this is crucial that you do this as you do the listening and the reading practice. Number one, use your notes obviously to answer the comprehension questions after each lecture or after each reading passage. So you're using your notes to answer the test questions correctly. Number two, I want you to use your notes to write 3 250-word academic summaries weekly. And when you're doing this writing practice, I don't need to see this. You're doing it for your own good. I will see some writing practice tests later, as I will explain in the video. But first of all, you're doing 3 academic summaries each week. Each summary is 250 words, and the summaries focus on the notes from the listening and the reading passages that you are practicing. Now, number 3, you should also use your notes to speak about this information, WA. That means that you're maybe doing 60-second oral responses based on the main and the most important supporting points of the listening and the reading passages. And that's it. So once you go through the 40 practice tests, you've answered all the listening comprehension questions, you've also practiced speaking and writing about those passages, and then you can go to the reading section, do exactly the same thing, right? You answer the comprehension questions, then you practice writing about the information, then you practice speaking about the information. What do you think is going to happen as you do all that practice? We're talking about maybe over 100 hours of practice you're doing here. You will become more comfortable with vocabulary and grammar, and you will be more comfortable speaking about other people's ideas. So you're doing listening practice, reading practice, you're doing integrated writing practice, and integrated speaking practice. That's exactly what you're doing there. Okay, finally, once you've done the listening and the reading parts of my course, as I just suggested in this video, then you need to move on to the speaking and the writing components of my course. Now remember, I have over 300 speaking topics today for independent tasks. I have 20 integrated speaking topics, and you can also send me topics from YouTube or from your TOEFL book if you want to do more integrated speaking, and I will listen, believe it or not. I will actually listen to your integrated speaking and independent writing, and I will give you audio comments every time you do a speaking practice test. But here's my rule. Remember my rule. Never send me more than 1 speaking practice test in a 24-hour period. So you send me a practice test. Ideally, send me the practice test and wait for my comments. Once you get my comments, then the next day you can send me another practice test. And that gives me enough time to give you and all my other students comments about their speaking tasks that they are completing at my website. Now, same thing with writing. You need to improve your writing, I'm sure. I don't know what your subtotal is. I know your score is 86. But you should start, once you get to the writing part of my course, following my instructions in this video, you can start sending me integrated writing and independent writing practice tests. For example, I have 40 independent writing practice tests right now. I have 43 integrated writing practice tests that you can complete. And once you send them to me, I will send you back a score. My teaching assistant will read and comment on the writing practice test that you sent. However, I will not correct all the grammar errors in your writing. I will not do that. That's too time consuming. I can't do it. So don't expect that. But you will get a score back every time you do writing. And when you do speaking, I will usually give you about 3 minutes or 4 minutes of comments on the speaking tasks that you complete. You see what I'm saying? That's what you got to do. So what are you doing? You say you'll do anything, right? So here's my suggestion. You need to spend maybe 3 or 4 hours every day, at least for the next 2 to 3 months, following the suggestions in this video. Bookmark the YouTube video here, because this represents your plan of how you can use my online course. Remember that there are over 700 lessons in my online TOEFL course to help you improve your academic English language abilities. And I'm confident that together, that we can help you go from 86 to 95 so that you can get accepted into Harvard and you can start your dental school there. And what do you think is going to happen once you achieve your goal of going to Harvard and finishing your education? You are going to make a boatload of money. A lot of money. How much money? You can probably make enough money as a dentist to buy an airplane. That's how much money you're going to be making, right? Think about that. So as you think about your study that you're doing right now, no matter how hard it is, no matter how difficult my comments are to you, because I am direct as they come, I will tell you every problem that you're having with your speaking. I will help you with your writing and all the other areas. And if you just be patient and do what I'm telling you to do, you will reach your goal. All right? And thank you very much for your comments, and all the best to your high-scoring TOEFL success.